Yo, my dons, make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and obviously hit the bell for notifications. Well. As you've seen by the title of this video and on your screen now, Dillian, alleged Dillian Whyte, has posted a somewhat worrying message on his social media slash Instagram account. And you can see it reads here, essentially saying that you can see how stressed people take their lives. Stress is no joke. And what can I say? Bottom line is, as we all know, one thing we do know, pressure busts pipes. However, I gotta be honest, I am quite shocked that Dillian Whyte has written this particular statement and especially posted it out to his whole social media. I thought Dillian Whyte was almost unhuman, I guess. I thought he was was stronger and bigger than that, and it kind of goes quite a way to showing that everyone's human. We all bleed and we all cry and we all have emotions, essentially. However, reading into it, I've got to say a few key points. As I mentioned about his personality, not only did I think he was almost like heroic, or like, you know, fighters, you put them on a pedestal, you think they're not human, almost. But on the banter inside, he says that, well, we can kind of draw conclusions that obviously the reason he's talking about pressure is because of what people have said about him and because of the current allegations that have been going on. But what I find quite weird, and this is the reason actually, before I say what I was about to say, this is the reason why I've been throwing jokes out there, Dillian Whyte, Pillion, all this business. I thought Dillian Whyte was about the banter. I thought that was his personality. And the reason I say that is this, listen, what we do know is Dillian Whyte had no problems talking about, oh yeah, AJ's the Lance Armstrong of boxing, and AJ's this, AJ's the, he takes TUEs. He was literally making up deep narratives about how corrupt and about how distorted AJ was, and that was all fun and games. Mine was laughing. So that's why when I come out with my names and my Dillian Whyte and alleged Dillian Whyte and Pillion, I thought it was all fun and games. And that, so to hear that Dillian's taking it seriously, I'm a man. I'm not gonna. If if someone don't like the banter, or if someone's taking it that personally, that they're talking about suicide and whatnot, well, it's a bit of puts me in a bit of an awkward situation. I'm not someone who's looking to push someone over the edge as such. Not that my platform is big enough or influential enough to hurt someone, but if someone's gonna take these sort of accusations that seriously, then I can sort of back off a bit. However, as I said, my issue was I thought it was open season. When you hopefully Dillian learns from this situation. Hopefully he sees how hurtful these sort of allegations can be, and then keeps it 100. This is what I've been saying the whole time. I've been saying my problem with Dillian has been he's good at giving it out, but clearly he's not taking it too well. And I understand, obviously, the accusations are the most in boxing. I'm trying to think what's a worse accusation. Being a drugs cheat is the absolute worst. It's like the nonsense of boxing, if that makes sense. Being a drugs cheat, much worse than quitting. Being a drugs cheat is the absolute worst. So I can appreciate where his emotions are coming from. My problem is it feels a bit hypocritical. He's good at giving it out and not good at taking it. So hopefully going forward he can learn from. Anyway, before I end this video, I also want to talk about not the emotional side, but I want to be, you know, the YB. The YB likes banter. That's all I've ever done. And it's funny because people keep saying, "Oh, YB, when are you going to apologise? When are you going to apologise?" You do understand this is banter, don't you? Come on, like I don't understand. Everyone's getting anal over it. Oh, you need to bring an official apology out. Oh, this is calling someone D-ball. What? I haven't gone out there and concocted deep stories about how he goes to Dubai for warm weather camps and takes TUE. All I've said is a few names as such. So bear that in mind in that sense. And everyone's like, oh, YB, you can't speculate, YB, YB this, YB that. Listen, if there was no speculation, by the way, if there was no speculation, there'd be no damn social media. That's a fact as well. There'd be no social media. And by the way, as I said before, Dillian Whyte in the past had no problem purely speculating, yeah? Had no problem purely speculating on Anthony Joshua's situation. Oh, he's taken to you. He's no evidence, by the way. So why is it, you man that call for me to come out and acquit Dillian Whyte? You want me to clear Dillian Whyte with no evidence, but You didn't, or you want me to apologise to Dillian Whyte with no evidence that he's actually clean. But meanwhile, when Dillian Whyte was alleging all this sort of business, it was all fun and games. It was open season. People coming in my comment section saying, "Oh well, YB, you need to report on Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua's TUE cover up." But now it's Dillian Whyte's turn. Everyone's crying. Everyone wants apologies. Everyone doesn't think it's as funny anymore. When Dillian Whyte apologises to AJ, that's when the YB will apologise. In fact, no, I'm a bigger man than that. Once we see some evidence actually acquitting Dillian Whyte, don't come and try and tell me about VADA tests. He never failed a VADA test, you muppets. At least if you're going to come with some smoke, come with the correct smoke. The YB's, it's like people think I'm lying. I told you before, when the YB's wrong, my hands will go up. And besides, as I mentioned a minute ago, in reality, what all the YB said is a few bit of banterous jokes. Dillian Whyte, Dillian Whyte, all banter. That there is banter. There's no accusations in that. Pure banter. There's no stories, no fabrications, no TUEs, no nothing. Pure banter. Anyway, now I feel like I've cleared myself. I don't want to be responsible for anyone going over the edge, if that makes sense. All I say is banter. You won't see no deep concoctions or no deep what's the word, defamation going on the YB channel. This is purely comedic value only, yeah? I don't want no law cases coming. Oh, YB pushed Dillian over the edge. No, thank you. I'd rather not be involved with that. Anyway, let me move on to my last point of this video. Now we've got past them issues there. I want to also speculate, as I mentioned a minute ago, that's all we can do in this social media game. You dons out there who keep saying, "Oh, YB, don't speculate, you're best to sit and wait. Oh, YB, don't speculate, you're best to sit and wait until results come out." Listen, for those men out there who think that, your best bet is to shut down YouTube. If you don't want to watch speculation, the worst thing you can do is come to the YB's channel. Let me get that straight now. If you do not want to see speculation, do not come to YouTube. That's what it's about. Facts happen once every blue moon. Look at the AJ Ruiz situation. That's 8 weeks banging on now. If we sat around waiting for the final result, there'd be no YouTube, there'd be no discussion. And besides, what am I talking about? Listen, I've got to put my hands in here. The YB loves speculating. But let's get something straight. As much as the YB loves speculating, you certain dons in the comment section complaining about the speculation, you love it more than the YB loves speaking it. Because you're the same man in there commenting, disliking, every video you're about. You're here more than the YB's here. Let's get it straight. You love the speculation. Anyway, let's get to speculating now. And so I want to talk about these emotions Dillian Whyte's been having. And there's two, as I say, I haven't got an opinion. What the YB, as much as many of you don't want to believe it, the YB goes with facts. However, I'm going to put forward both cases Hatman style. I'm going to sit on the fence Hatman style and dish out both sides, and you man can decide which way you want to go. Now, what I'm trying to say is this: why is Dillian Whyte taking this so seriously for? There's two ways you can look at it. Number one, you can look at it and say, well, perhaps it's a guilty conscience. As an example, we know, I've got a video coming out soon, Dillian Whyte did not tell his trainer about what happened on the 17th, about his failed test. That seems fishy. Does that, I don't know, I'm not sure. Like, your trainer is meant to be your number one don. But equally, people could also argue, maybe it's not a guilty conscience. Maybe the fact he didn't tell his trainer was more to do with the fact that he didn't want to worry his trainer or whatever. But what I'm saying is, as an example, not to compare Dillian with this type of crime, but a lot of these Hollywood nonsense at the moment, they're always walking around, top dons and whatever, whenever their stories break, like, what's his name? What's that guy's name? Epstein. Epstein is in the news at the moment for being a certified Hollywood nonce, a financial nonce, yeah, a Wall Street nonce. He's out there doing all that business, and then all of a sudden he gets arrested, the party's over, and he wants to talk about, he wants to be caught trying to commit suicide. But when they was out on the street being ruthless, being dirty Wall Street nonces, they weren't thinking about suicide. So my point is, sometimes it can be a guilty conscience. However, conversely, the other side of that story is, it could also be, if you feel there's a massive, if you feel like you've been set up and everyone's against you and people are lying on your name and whatnot, that can also get you down. So I'm in two worlds, and actually that moves me on to another point I've been wondering. And I sat down and asked myself, why have I been, well, like I said, I don't think I've been overly negative against Dillian. I think that's a natural reaction. We have to remember, if this had been Rivas or Wilder, he'd be getting a lot more than Dillian Whyte and Dillian Whyte, wouldn't they? And we'd all be laughing at it. So I don't feel what I've done has been like overly defamatory or overly going in. But what I'm trying to say is, if Dillian has been set up, I've been struggling with this myself. I've been thinking, why am I going in on Dillian? And that's because he hasn't given us nothing to go on. As an example, when Jarrell Juicy Miller came out initially, when he first popped, and he came out and said, "Oh, I've been set up," I've got to admit, maybe the YP's somewhat predisposed to jumping on conspiracy hypes. That might be the case, but either way, when Jarrell Juicy Miller originally popped, and he mentioned the conspiracy about being set up, I was ready to ride that bandwagon. I was ready to, not back him, but I was ready to say, you know what, we got to look into this. Because for me, when someone alleges there's been a conspiracy going on, I'm the first to jump on it. But Dillian hasn't even given us that. That's why, this is the reason I'm finding it hard to back Dillian Whyte. You know me, I've backed him for the last however long, in terms of the Wilder situation, and I will continue to do so. In fact, even recently I've backed him with the VADA situation, and the WBC. 100%, no doubt. But that's because we got some tangible information to go on. With this VADA situation, Dillian Whyte's left his followers pissing in the wind, essentially. He hasn't given us nothing to back. And if there is a conspiracy, people keep telling me, "Oh, YB, I'm surprised you haven't exposed the WBC setting Dillian up. I'm surprised you haven't exposed VADA and Wilder setting Dillian Whyte up." By the way, I have exposed it in some videos, but it's hard to completely ride that narrative when Dillian hasn't given us nothing to go on. Yeah, simple as that. As an example, in the past times, I think that a great example, in fact, back in 2013, when Dillian had that his initial Jack 3D situation where he popped, he came out, and I'll put the video in this video. In fact, he came out and told everyone, A, B, C, D. This is why it's not the case. This is why I'm sort of clear. For example, Dillian Whyte hasn't done that. Now, some people may say, "Oh, well, times have changed. He's got more at risk now, and he's got more to lose now. He's lawyered up." But I'm pretty sure, this is what I've been saying for myself, if you've got facts, you can put them out there. Yeah? Give your fans something to back you with. That's probably why he's feeling down, because he hasn't given... It's hard to support. I'm finding it hard to support. Even, as an example, Sporting Icons, who is a Dillian Whyte Donny, 100%. He's being pretty neutral, but he's finding it hard to back, in my opinion. He might not be, but I'm feeling like people are finding it hard to back Dillian, even though they want to, because he hasn't given us nothing. What's he given us? "Oh, I'm talking to lawyers. Sit and wait." That's no good. I'm sorry. If there's facts that can support your situation, come out and give us something to work with. And like I said a minute ago, you've done it before. In your last situation, you've come out and explained A, B, C, D. This is why it's not the case. This is why I'm in the right, sort of thing. Simple. He hasn't done that, and that's why the YB's got... What do you want me to do? Sit there and push conspiracy theories that he doesn't even want to push himself. Now, to be fair to him, we did see that leaked video of him and Hearn, where he said it's a conspiracy, but he could have come out and put in that in that dead Twitter message he put out, he could have also added to that and said, "Trust me, fans, this is a setup." That's not going to prejudice. That's not going to prejudice your legal situation. Putting one line in there. Oh, I want my AB, whatever he put in that dead ass tweet, and then at the end put, "I want my fans to know, to keep it. I want my fans to carry on keeping it 100. I've been set up," or whatever. That's all. One line, and I could be making videos about it today. 20 videos later, but he hasn't done that. He's sat behind lawyers, and you want me to? People coming criticising the YB for not backing him. With what? What do you want me to back him with? VADA test he already passed. Come on, give me something. I don't understand what people want anyone to do. We haven't got no information to go on, unfortunately. And when you don't have any information, all the information that does seem to be coming out in general, it's leading to the bad side, unfortunately for Dillian. And that's the other thing, actually. Another thing before I go. Moving on. The B sample. This particular message Dillian put on Instagram, we don't know. Maybe people keep saying, "Where's the B sample? Where's the B sample?" And I agree, it's taken ages. However, I was thinking, why is it taking so long? But in reality, I realised we will never know when that B sample comes back. This isn't a VADA. With VADA and Jarrell Miller, I believe it took about 2 weeks after his first failed test, and the B sample was released. However, that's VADA. They do it publicly. For all we know, Dillian Whyte's B sample is likely already back. However, unless there's another leak, it will not be publicly disclosed, from what I understand. Remember, the only reason we found out was because some whistleblower, allegedly from BBBOC, as per Frank Warren, risked his career and pulled a Julian Assange and posted it out. That's the only reason we know this, by the way. So everyone's sitting there saying, "Oh, YB, wait for the B sample. Oh, YB, wait for this." We're going to be waiting weeks and months for the actual result. But the B sample, I'm not even sure we'll ever know. And the fact that this message came out a few days ago, which would roughly be in line. Dillian put this up a few days ago, this Instagram message. So it could be, I'm purely speculating, I'm not sure, it could be that Dillian's put this up because there's been a new development in the case. Maybe it's come out the B sample is also dirty and he's kind of getting really down. But as I say, if you want support and if you feel you've actually been set up, come out and tell people that. If I'd been genuinely set up, I'd be telling people. And that makes me, conversely, it makes me think, maybe he knows he's in the wrong. Maybe that's why he didn't tell Mark Tibbs. Maybe that's why he hasn't pushed a conspiracy theory. Because he knows he's done something. I don't know. As I say, in the past, my whole thing is, with psychology, I told you before, YB is a psychological Donny. 100%. My whole thing is, look how he reacted last time. When he first popped for the Jack 3D stuff, he was out and he was putting clear arguments ahead as to why it's not a juice.
You know, like I said, I haven't taken any steroids or any growth hormones or anything. You know, I'm in this game, Coogan, to inspire kids and to make a better way for my kids and my family. You know what I mean? I would never put that at jeopardy by using steroids or anything like that. I take anything knowing that it's gonna, you know what I mean, it's illegal or anything. I would never cheat. You know what I mean? You know, I'm a very religious man and I don't believe in taking none of that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? I would never take something knowing that it's not allowed. There is something that's going to enhance my performance. You know what I mean? I train hard. I don't cut corners. You know, like you said, it's just a bit of naivety. You know what I mean? Obviously, taking stuff and not reading through it properly and not knowing exactly what's in it. You know, some of these things, the way they're spelled and the words they're in, if I came to you and showed you the thing that I got tested for, you probably would even know how to pronounce it yourself. You know what I mean? So
now there are no clear arguments, lawyered up straight away. I guess things have changed. He's more at risk now, and he's a bigger entity. He's probably got money for lawyers now. But I just feel, man, you got to give your people something to ride with. And actually, how I'll end this video is with a bit of an analogy. When people, I've watched documentaries of people who have been in jail for 20, 30 years before. And these people have been in jail for 30 years because they've pure and cleanly refused to cop a plea. The prosecutor said to him, listen, if you admit guilt in this crime, we'll let you go. We'll put you on parole and let you out. But people who have protested their innocence have said, no, I'm not copping a plea. I'm going to prove my innocence. They've got that positive mindset. So I've got a question. If Dillian, if you know you're truly clean, and you've got to have that belief in yourself that justice will prevail. So it makes me think, why is Dillian so negative for? Why is he negative Nelly for? And there's two ways to look at it. Number one, why are you so negative if you know you're truthful? Positive test or not. If you know you've been set up, you should be able to ride with that. And number two is, conversely, fair enough, if you don't want to... And if you have been set up, why aren't you telling people you've been set up? Loud and clear for everyone to hear. And I wonder sometimes as well, because especially now following Eric Molina's video, Eric Molina come out and basically said that a lot of these top fighters... And it essentially said Dillian Whyte and AJ, actually. He implied AJ and Dillian Whyte. A lot of these top fighters, he said that you'll never catch them with a lot in their system. We know the allegations are Dillian Whyte got caught with Debo, trace amounts of Debo. And Eric Molina alleges that a lot of these top fighters are running trace amount scams where they're taking these extremely highly modified substances. And they've got all these new generation juice and whatnot. They're taking that, and apparently it gets out of the bloodstream within a few hours. So that's why people are only being caught these days with trace amounts. I don't know whether that's possible now, or whether he's lying, or whether he's talking pure hearsay. But that does ring a number in my bell when you got an insider saying these things. Even Victor Conti's talked about these sort of concepts before. And the reason I say that is because, and for years, I've got to be honest, for years, people have been telling me, oh, YB, everyone's on it. And I used to roll my eyes so hard when people said that. Matt, you got them I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist, but every time someone would say, oh, YB, yeah, everyone's juiced out of their mind. But now the questions have got to be asked. And I'll be the first man to say, and I will end this video on this note, as I say every time, I want Dillian to be clean, 100%. But ultimately, I want the truth out, and ASAP. In fact, how long it takes don't really matter. As long as the truth comes out, I'm happy with it. I'm not happy to see Dillian Whyte so bogged down. I hope either way. I hope it's not a guilty conscience. I hope he gives us something to ride with if he is clean. And I'll be intrigued to see what you guys think about not only this post, but the speculation I've kind of drilled out in this video. Give me some. I want from you Dillian Whyte fans who have been criticising me. I want you, man, to give me something. Give me something. Tell me what makes you so positive. What gives you so much confidence? Because from where I'm sitting, didn't tell his trainer. All these, you know what I mean? All these little bits in there. Being so negative Nelly when he hasn't been in the past. Tell me what you're seeing. What are you seeing? If it was a setup, tell me why he hasn't exposed it as a setup. And don't give me the whole lawyers-ish. I'm sick of the damn lawyers. Couldn't care less about them. And if people who have been unwrong or unduly convicted and have spent 20, 30 years in jail before, if they can remain positive about a situation, knowing that they know the truth, knowing the truth or believing the truth will prevail, if Dillian is in the clear, why isn't he, why is he being so negative for? As I said, drawing comparisons, when the dirty Hollywood nonces get caught, they're all negative Nelly. So why is he being negative if he knows the truth's on his side? I'm confused. Why is he not giving us nothing if he knows the truth's on his side? People lawyer up and say no comment 9 times out of 10 when they got squat else to say. But I'll be happy to be proved wrong, no doubt. When the facts come out, and that's where we are today anyway. As of today, the 4th of August, all we can do is sit and wait to see what happens with UCAD. I guess to Dillian's defence, VADA's been clean, but why isn't he riding with that? Why is he being negative for? It's suspicious to an extent.